Today we want to make a palette together. The things we need to make a palette are a silicone mold, which we can use in any size we'd like, resin pigments, some paper cups for mixing, and a craft stick, whether plastic or wooden. Gloves, resin, and some sand, and bits and pieces for decorating our beach. I want to create an ocean design on this palette. The sea I want to create is the Hormuz Red Sea. And for this, I need red, green, and some white pigments for the waves. First step is to prepare the resin. You surely must use a scale to get the right amount of resin and hardener mixed together. And definitely use protective gloves so that the resin doesn't touch our skin, because sometimes it can cause allergic reactions, and well, be careful. For this palette size, the amount of resin we need is around 50 grams. And so I add 34 grams of resin and half of that amount hardener. It's a little bit more than 34 grams. It's alright if it's off by 1 to 1.5 grams. A little bit more or less is fine. It's alright. Half of this amount, like around 70 grams, I add hardener. The mixture's resin to hardener ratio is 1 to 2. Some resins need a ratio of 1 to 1, but this one's a 1 to 2. So whatever the amount of resin, half of that number is hardener. $15, $16, $16.9, a little more than that, and okay. After adding hardener, we mix resin and hardener until a transparent liquid thingy forms. You have to mix it as slow as possible so that not a lot of bubbles form in there. If you mix them too fast, you'll cause pinhead bubbles, which won't make your work beautiful, and not even craft torches could remove them. Slowly, I mix them for about 5 minutes. As I keep mixing these, I want to introduce you to pigments. The pigment I want to use is ink color or liquid pigment. You could also use powdered pigments. So for the sea we use liquid color, but for the waves we use color paste in white. Your liquid ink could be either resin soluble ink or alcohol based ink. Because I couldn't find my resin soluble ink in red, I'm going to use an alcoholic based for my red. You see it's alright. To make sure that my mixture has blended evenly, I want to add it to another cup and mix it there for some more minutes to make it even and smooth. With this, we make sure that no streaks remain and the hardener resin mixture is as smooth as possible, because if resin and hardener isn't mixed well, they won't dry. And later on, they will become a problem, so mix a little more. Before we start, we need to clean the mold. For this, use a white tape to stick and unstick on your mold so there's no lint or particles or dust or anything there. For the beach part, we are going to use sand. You can use any color of sand you like, it's based on your taste. We have to add some of our mixture to a tinier cup. And mix our sand with resin. So I prepared my beach. I'll put it aside. Let's prepare our sea as well. Now for the sea I want to make has some turquoise aquamarine kind of color on top and some red crimson in the middle. And the bottom part is going to be sand. So I need to mix some of my resin with green to have some kind of aquamarine kind of color and mix some with red to have the crimson hormones and keep a little of that resin colorless. I'm going to use a turquoise pigment, but if I didn't like the color, I'll add some green with a dropper, some drops of this, and I'll mix to see if the color is the one I want or not. So I get a color like this, but I think it's a bit pale, so I think I'm going to drop some more, like this. And I'll add some red drops to this cup. The alcohol-based inks are less pigmented, so we need to use more drops. Our red color is ready. I will begin with the sands. I'll add some colorless resin here. I will add my red here in the center. And my aquamarine goes here on top. Blur the edges a little bit to make it prettier. Although this will happen on its own when we're going to heat gun our waves. So I added some crimson here, a little darker version of that red to give my work some more contrast. So we illustrate how the two ocean shades merge. To demonstrate the waves, we'll add some white color paste to a little bit of resin. This is the paste and the teeniest bit is enough. Now I mix it with the resin. I'll use some tiny shells to add to my beach. Because why not? They make it prettier. You can add as many as you like. It's totally based on your taste, the colors, the shape. I won't add big ones because my palette is tiny, but if you have a bigger palette, feel free to do whatever you want with it. I will add some colorless resin on top of the shells because I don't want them to get detached or break or anything. That will secure them good. Now I'll use a butane torch to get rid of any possible bubbles before I start making my wave. The white color paste and resin have been resting for almost 15 minutes now, and they have thickened pretty well, which is exactly what we need for a good wave. If your paste and resin mixture is loose, it could get blown away and not spread good. So it's essential to let it rest for some time to thicken. Just spread it a few rows. Using a heat gun, we will make our waves. Make sure to use the medium blow. We don't want it to be too harsh. Get a toothpick and again blur and reshape the edges to make it more wavy. All done. After 4 hours, you can remove it from the mold. Bye!